Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Friday, May 31st, 2024. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief presented by Annapolis Subaru and the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. And there goes May. Here's your low ticket warning. Bands in the Sand. That event is June 8th, and I don't believe there will be any tickets available much past this weekend, so if you'd like to go get them today. Today, we do have a bunch of news, so we better get into it, shall we? The Anne Arundel County Police responded to a home invasion on Colony Road in Pasadena at 9:30 p.m. on May 28th. A 21-year-old male reported being followed into his home by several armed suspects. The victim retreated, retrieved a rifle, and fired several shots, causing the suspects to flee. Now, no injuries were reported, and it's unclear if any of the suspects were struck. The area was searched, but no suspects were found. The police are requesting anyone with any information to contact them at 410-222-6145 or the anonymous tip line at 410-222-4700. This weekend, Maryland will enforce increased fines in highway work zones. The Moore Miller administration introduced legislation to double the fines for speed camera violations from $40 to $80 effective June 1st, 2024. The fines will further increase next year, ranging from $60 to $1,000, depending on the speed and whether the workers are present. This legislation does aim to enhance safety for road workers and reduce speeding in work zones. The state is also going to increase police presence and invest $500,000 in safety awareness campaigns. The Annapolis Pride Parade and Festival on June 1st is going to be led by renowned fashion designer and Annapolis native Christian Siriano. This event marks a significant celebration for the LGBTQ plus community in the area, featuring Siriano, who is known for his advocacy and contributions to fashion. The parade aims to promise inclusivity and diversity, bringing together various community members to celebrate pride and support equal rights. The parade steps off of City Dock at noon on Saturday and goes up Main Street to West Street, and then it wraps up at Maryland Hall, where there will be a giant festival there and at the Weems Whale-In Field. Now, the festival will be headlined by Elle Rogers, another local who is a finalist on this season of The Voice. A fun time for all, for sure. And if you are a soccer fan, the Annapolis Blues host their first game of the season at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Other events for your consideration this weekend. Saturday night at Maryland Hall, Live Arts Maryland is going to wrap up their season with Glory, Praise, and Peace at 7:30. You can get tickets at liveartsmd.org. On Sunday, Paint Annapolis kicks off at 9 a.m., and selected painters will do a shotgun start to find the perfect spot to paint the city within 2 hours. This is a great way to kick off Annapolis Arts Week and Arts Month in the county. There will be a free exhibition of the completed works at City Dock at 11:30 a.m. Over at the Bates Athletic Complex, the Chesapeake Children's Museum presents its 24th annual Kids in Caboodle from noon to 4 p.m. Tons of absolutely free family fun. On West Street this Sunday, it is the first Sunday Arts Festival because, well, it will be the first Sunday of the month. Sunday evening is the Art and Public Places Commission City Dock Concert Series with the Spa Creek Swing Band getting underway at 6:30 p.m. And again, that one's a free event as well. And all weekend long, the monthly Local by Design at the Gallery Artisans Market will be happening 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., again, all weekend long at 1818 Margaret Avenue, which is right off of Chinkapin Round Road. And of course, you want to be sure to catch our local business spotlight this Saturday at noon. This week, we speak with Evie and Christy from Main and Market, a favorite breakfast spot for me. So you do want to give that a listen when it drops at noon on Saturday. Today on Canines and Crosstreks, we meet Grace, a friendly 3-year-old poodle mix with a bad haircut, but that haircut is only temporary. Listen to our spot now and then check out eyeonannapolis.net at noon for some irresistible photos and get all of the information on how you can adopt Grace and give her the home she deserves. And again, don't forget that we have that daily newsletter that features only the top local news stories of the day. We do send it out to your email inbox at 7 p.m. every single night, all without a paywall. It's perfect for keeping up with the weekend's news since we don't release a DNB on Saturday or Sunday. And here is a link right here in the show notes. All right, and that's it. Now it's time to say thank you for listening and putting up with us every day. I do hope that we add some value to your world. And if we do, please leave a review somewhere or tell a friend to give us a listen. We also want to thank our sponsors, Annapolis Subaru, the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, Solar Energy Services, and Hospice of the Chesapeake. It's Friday. The weekend is here, and now it is time just to say have a great weekend, be nice to others, do something fun, and keep shopping local. Now hang tight because George Young from DCMDVA Weather is here with the only locally forecasted weather report you'll find, and of course Canines and Crosstreks. So do hang around for that because all of that's coming your way in just a minute.
Coping with advanced illness can be overwhelming, and determining the best options for a loved one isn't always so easy. But here at Hospice of the Chesapeake, your hometown hospice, we want you to know you do have a choice. You can choose exactly who provides the care and the type of care you receive, and it's your decision when and where your loved one receives that care. We have served our community, family, and friends for over 40 years. We are there when you need us. Learn how we can help at hospicechesapeake.org.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be, so you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA Weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA Weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Friday, May 31st, last day of May 2024. And it'll be a spectacular weather day for the Annapolis region with a really nice weekend ahead, as well as tomorrow officially kicks off the 3-month stretch of June, July, and August. That is meteorological summer. Look for sunny skies today with highs in the mid-70s to low 80s, following AM lows in the 50s, with winds out of the north today around 10 miles per hour. To be followed by mostly sunny skies this weekend, with AM lows again in the 50s Saturday and Sunday, with PM highs warming a bit into the upper 70s to mid-80s, with similar conditions expected Monday, ahead of mid or upper 80s and a chance for showers and storms next Tuesday. Okay, that's it for today and this week. This is George Young of DCMDVA Weather. Make it a great day and weekend out there. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to follow DCMDVA Weather on Facebook and X for weather updates each day, along with the website at dcmdvaweather.info, so you can always stay weather informed.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Is all this talk of inflation making you uneasy? Me too, especially the uncertainty. How bad will it eat into my future purchasing power? Well, don't feel helpless because solar energy can give you some financial control. By installing and owning your solar system, you can lock out electricity cost inflation by locking in your electricity price for more than 25 years. Many of our inflation-fighting clean energy systems offset 100% of the annual electricity demands. Customers frequently add electric vehicle charging and backup batteries to their solar projects, providing them inexpensive auto fuel and additional energy security for the home. Freeze energy inflation in its tracks by committing to affordable, clean solar energy. Call us today at 410-923-6090 or visit us at solarsaves.net. But don't wait another minute. Sunshine's a wasted.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
That can only mean one thing. We're headed to the SPCA of Anne Arundel County with Annapolis Subaru to play with the pups for this week's Canines and Crosstreks, sponsored by Annapolis Subaru. Higher standards.
Back at the SPCA for Canines and Crosstreks, and I see we've got Catwoman on the table that's just dying to get in on the podcast.
And Jimmy.
Who was our guest today? I see this little conehead running around here.
We have little Grace here today. And Grace is a poodle mix. She's 3 years old and she is spayed. She's about 11 and a half pounds, and she was surrendered to us. The owner wanted to surrender to us, and she came in pretty rough shape. So we are going to have your some before and after pictures because I know she looks like she has a really bad haircut.
Her hair's going to grow back, right?
Her hair is going to grow back, and I know it looks like a bad haircut, but let me tell you, it's much better than the one she came in with. Took off that really bad matted coat that she was wearing when she arrived, but she's feeling much better. And then you can see just from her not having her coat, trimmed and stuff, she has a few of the sores, kind of like abscess that were festering underneath, which is what happens when you don't groom the dogs.
When you don't groom an animal.
Yeah,
I know
really sad.
When my dog, my Shih Tzu was still alive, it was, getting the timing would be off and it'd get like the heart of winter. I'm like, I don't have the heart to cut the hair and make it short.
Right, because then she'll be cold. And that's the thing, too, when we encourage people when they're adopting to obviously think about the grooming side of the animals, too, because not only is it costly, but, it can be time consuming. And it's a must because otherwise they end up like she is.
Well, she's a little, I think she was outside. She's a little wet.
She is. She's like Billy's panic on his face after he pet her.
I just
was
pet her
what did I just put my hand in?
Soaked.
No, I ran her around the building before she came in for the podcast and it's raining. So it's just rain.
She's not oozing?
No.
As far as I know.
Smells like rain.
Billy is checking by
like rain.
the smell. Okay. So smells like rain. Perfect.
Well, what kind of home does Grace want?
I think Grace is going to be a very easy dog. I think she just wants a loving home because she was so sweet during all of that shaving and everything else. And, we kept giving her breaks and everything, but she is friendly with the cats and the dogs. So we believe she'll be friendly, in a home with them.
And it sounds like she has a right to be pissed off if she was sort of neglected like that.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. And she's also a repeat offender. And what I mean by that is the owner did share with us that in Baltimore City, she kept escaping for whatever reason, whether she was let out and didn't stay home or just escaped. But she ended up at a shelter like 3 or 4 times that she would go back and reclaim her. So
she's a street dog. She's trying to be out in the streets.
Something's going on there. We're not totally sure.
Before we do these every week, I sort of look for like SPCA news and Subaru news. And I hate to keep beating this dead horse, which is probably not an appropriate term to say for the SPCA podcast.
Yes.
But I see that all these Subaru dealers all across the country are like bragging about their share of the love. And I have not seen one higher than 55 grand.
Oh,
Woo.
Really?
How about
No, I mean, I'm sure that's not a look at all the hundreds of dealers across, but a lot of them are in like the 35 to 55 is about the highest I've seen. And when I look at that, I go,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no,
they're sharing that love.
Yeah, we'll see what we could do next year.
And,
right?
and
we're only, you know what, John? We're still talking about this from last year. We're creeping up on share the love this year.
It's
true.
It's you know what?
June.
It's June.
It is June.
Before you know it, it'll be share the love, and it will be lights on the bay.
No.
Almost there. Woohoo!
Oh God, I did it. We're talking about lights on the bay.
Right into that.
Right into it.
But I mean, I said that it still blows my mind that amount, and I know that Annapolis Subaru had donated a little bit to make it a round number, but still. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was very cool. So
it's very cool.
Unreal.
Yeah.
And I also saw where Subaru has a goal corporate to by their 2030 model year cars, they won't have any fatal crashes with the way they're changing up their eyesight thing.
Okay.
And they said they're partnering with Google to develop and combine on-site AI, which is sort of like what the cameras detect on the car. And what they can give it off-site with. I don't know how that works with Google, all this magic stuff with AI.
Yeah.
But they're saying their goal is to have 0 fatal crashes in a Subaru by 2030, which is like a lofty goal, of course. But
wow.
But I look at the safety stuff, and I was out with Teresa, and I mean, you got that whole lane departure thing scares the heck out of me. I mean, when I'm not used to it, and the slow down and the
like, I'm not that bad of a driver, am I?
Yes, you are. It's a lofty goal, but I mean, you guys are halfway there.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a lot to prevent crashes from the front. You obviously can't control what other people are doing on the road as well. But you can, I mean, those cars are now they're meant to absorb around you and take any energy away from hitting you versus being absorbed in the car. So we'll see what Subaru comes up with. But
I ain't got a couple years yet, but it's still it's I mean, if the right technology is moving, though, I would imagine this is not too far out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, for sure. You also got to make sure everyone's wearing their seatbelts, all that stuff.
I have a seatbelt question. So when I'm driving and I'm not as diligent with seatbelts until the Subaru because
it yells
God,
at you.
it is so loud. It's like you just want to stop
Ding,
and put your seatbelt on. Yeah.
Put your seatbelt on, Kelly. Ding,
So does it not allow me to make phone calls?
Oh, until you have your seatbelt on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute.
Does it really? That's
you got to
awesome.
put your seatbelt on to use the.
I thought it was like just my imagination. I thought, well, that was weird. I guess, I'm in a bad area or something like that. I didn't realize
Subaru cares that much about your safety because you can't, like, the
Wow.
radio won't, like,
Oh,
play,
I know.
like-
I knew the radio, but then the phone, I just thought, well, maybe it's because my neighborhood, because I'm usually getting in the car and then about to make a call and I don't have my seatbelt on yet. So I'm thinking, God, that's weird. I must have bad
You just got to
service in my
change up your
community.
routine.
Yeah, you
man.
gotta
You got to put the
change it.
seatbelt on
the
first,
car,
and then
grab it, click it.
Subaru is now in charge. So, yes. That's pretty cool.
We care that much about your
You
safety.
do care. And I appreciate that because obviously I do not
you're
follow
just
the rules
cruising around
because I'm learning all these things that I'm not allowed to do in the Subaru. So, okay. That's pretty cool, though.
That's wow. That's a feature, I mean, that I didn't notice in Teresa's car, but again, that's the first thing I
She
do.
must
is
put her seatbelt on. So that's
let's
fine.
get in, and I put the seatbelt on.
You always got to strap up. The worst is the kids in the back. Like, when they're back there, like, your seatbelt on. They're like, yes. And they'll look back there and they're like Spider-Manning in the back, trying to not touch the seat.
Oh, yeah.
And
the
then I'll hear like a little like ding, and I'm like, your seatbelt's not on.
Your seatbelt's not on. Yes.
The damn Crosstrek narked me out.
Oh yeah, dude, they'll get you.
Well, we got a week to go for Bands in the Sand, and
Holy
there are
crap.
a couple of tickets left. So if you want to get them, go get them. CBF.org, and right there on the homepage, it's Bands in the Sand. Of course, that one's sponsored by Annapolis Subaru, is the title sponsor. And then the following weekend, in a spate of good planning, is Pints for Paws.
Absolutely.
Because last year it was the same day as Bands in the Sand, and it was
and the year before, I believe.
Is Pints and Paws on Father's Day?
No.
Day before Father's Day?
Day before Father's Day, Saturday.
Yeah.
2 to 6 p.m. at the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium on June 15th.
Yeah.
Nice.
Always a big crowd for that.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And that's a real chill little beer festival.
It's
not anything crazy. I went to brew at
No.
the zoo last weekend, and it was fun, but it was a zoo in more ways than one.
Yeah. Yeah, they do a great job, Annapolis Homebrew, and we're just so fortunate that we are the beneficiaries of that. And then we have the Puppy Plunge coming up.
You do,
and that is August 25th. Yes,
that's awesome.
So that'll be at Camp Blitz in Edgewater.
How come we're not in the new building today? We were supposed to do a podcast.
Yeah, what's up with that?
With a hard hat tour.
Because they're finishing all the floors. All today is any little thing that might not have happened is happening today on those floors, and then we're not going to walk on them.
So there's no John and Billy and Kelly footprints.
Not.
In the...
I love you guys, but I didn't need your footprints in there.
I wanted to wear a hard hat.
We were going to be on the hard hat area.
I want to wear a hard hat and do the podcast.
You can. Okay, we can do that. You can wear every time you go to there. You should wear a hard hat.
Okay,
absolutely.
Like a reflective vest.
Yes.
All right. Well, maybe we'll try to get in there in a couple weeks.
Yes.
Maybe?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. You hear that? We heard that. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We're going to try. You said try, right?
I said we're going to get in there.
We're going to get in there.
Yep, we're going to get in there.
Anything new happening up in Subaru land?
Oh, let's see. Not a whole lot. We're just selling a bunch of cars.
Does car buying slow down in the summer?
God, I hope not.
Well, summer just started.
It doesn't. It doesn't typically. Summer's actually spring and summer is a very busy time of year typically, historically. But since 2020, history has been kind of messed up.
Just begun.
Like you're like, all right, pre-COVID, before COVID, after COVID, during COVID, who freaking knows? Yeah. So we're just gonna do the best that we can and sell as many cars as we possibly can, and make as many people happy.
Well, the scratching that everybody's hearing, if you hear it at all, and things that are being knocked over and everything.
It's the party hat that Grace is wearing, and she's like hitting every single thing in here and scratching.
She's just getting used to that little cone around the head, the cone of shame.
Grace.
Poor little thing.
It's like she got into a bottle of Nair. I don't know.
Poor puppy. Well, she will be healed from the lesion that you said she had.
Yeah, she does on her
pretty soon, and then she will be available for adoption pretty much within a couple of weeks, I would think.
Yes, and she is a very sweet girl.
She is very friendly. Came right up and was like, "Hey, how you doing? What's up? Awesome dog." She is. You said she is 3 years old, and about 12 pounds. Yep. 15 with hair.
That's right. She came in at 15, and now she's 12.
Oh, she is cute though.
Wait a minute, Billy. Do they even sell Nair anymore?
Dude, I don't know. That's the only thing. It's like, I've heard of like pranks where somebody will put Nair in like a shampoo bottle or something.
Oh my God, that's
I got around to Giant a little bit later today. I'll let you know. I'll let you know next week.
I don't know if they make Nair. I have no idea. It just looks like maybe they spilled some on her back.
Well, Grace is available for adoption. You can come in and put an application at the SPCA. You can go to aacspca.org and get all of the information on that. And you can also get information from Pints for Paws on there, as well as for the puppy plunge, which is coming up as well. For your Subaru needs, you want to go to AnnapolisSubaru.com or 149 Old Solomon's Island Road. And still got tons of stock, Billy?
Yeah, we got a good amount of cars. We got the 2025 Foresters being released here pretty soon. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, they're gonna be really nice. So hopefully we'll be getting them. I know that we'll be getting them at some point in June.
Very cool.
Cool.
AnnapolisSubaru.com or 149 Old Solomon's Island Road and aacspca.org. If you want to take home Grace, Grace is a sweet little poodle. We didn't mention what color she is. She's sort of tan, sort of creamy tanny.
She's a little pink right now.
like a flesh color.
She will be tan. She is tan color.
I don't know. Grace, I feel bad.
Again, aacspca.org and AnnapolisSubaru.com will get you everything you need for puppies and Crosstreks.
Have you ever had to wait to get an appointment at the Apple Store? Skip the wait and the line at the mall by visiting Mac Medics in Severna Park or Lanham, where appointments are not necessary. Mac Medics is an Apple-authorized service provider. Mac Medics services all Apple devices, including broken iPhone screens and batteries, and all without an appointment. Most iPhone repairs are complete the same day and usually within a few hours. Mac Medics is also an Apple-authorized reseller and sell Apple products at the same price as the Apple Store. Visit Mac Medics in Severna Park or Lanham for Apple-authorized sales and service and shop local. Don't wait for help. Call Mac Medics at 410-757-MAX, which is 410-757-6227. It's 410-757-6227. Or visit them online at macmedics.com. You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.